right now, Phoenix police are investigating a shooting at a Quick Trip near Cave Creek and Greenway. These are live pictures from the scene from Sky 12. You can see multiple squad cars in the parking lot right now. All of this happening in an area that's seen multiple shootings, including one involving officers, within the last 24 hours.
We'll have more on those other incidents coming up in just a moment. But first, we want to get out to Chase Golightly, who is live at that active scene right now. And Chase, what do you know?
Caribbean Mark, still a very active situation here. Police have pushed us back a few times to the location where we are now, which is that intersection again of Cave Creek and Greenway Parkway. You can see most of that police crime scene tape is surrounding this entire area of the Quick Trip right here. You can see it appears officers are talking to witnesses. We have seen some QT staff out here waiting to be questioned. Now we're being careful of what we're showing you because what we noticed earlier is that it appears on one of the doors leading into the QT, there appears to be a lot of blood on the door, but there's still a lot of information that we're looking to gather from the situation. What we have confirmed by Phoenix police at this time is that they got a call at around 8:18 p.m. tonight of shots being fired. When they arrived, they said that they found one man who suffered life-threatening injuries, was shot at least one time. They rushed that person to a nearby hospital. We don't know their current condition, but again, they did say that that person is fighting for their life, suffering life-threatening injuries. They said that it's still very early in the investigation. As we mentioned, it appears that police are still talking to witnesses who were here when this all happened. One of the questions that we do have is if there is currently a suspect on the loose, if police have someone detained at this time in regards to this shooting. They also said that they will be out here for several more hours as they investigate. Now, we did speak with one witness who didn't want to go on camera. They claim that this all started as an altercation between two people. I will say that we do not have that confirmed by Phoenix police at this time. Again, them telling us they are still early in this investigation and gathering information. Of course, we'll be sure to keep you updated on the situation as it develops. For now, we're live in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. Tonight's shooting adds to a long list of calls that police in that area have been dealing with over the last 24 hours. Last night, 3 teenage boys were shot outside an apartment complex just a few blocks away. Police are still looking for the shooter. This surveillance video shows a red car turn onto the street and park. And then just moments later, a white car drives by. Witnesses tell us that's when the gunshots were fired. Police found 3 teenage boys shot, all of them now in the hospital. The injuries are serious, but they are survivable. Neighbors tell us it was just terrifying.
A lot of gunshots, like nonstop.
My kids' windows are just on the other side of this building. And so my first thought was to look for crossfire and to decide whether or not I need to pull all the kids into the bathroom.
And police tell us there are reports that some of the nearby apartments were hit by gunfire. No one else was hurt.
Also tonight in that same area, a man died after being shot by Phoenix police. Around 2 a.m., officers responded to a shots fired call near 32nd Street in Bell. When they got there, they found a man with a gun in the road. Police say that he ignored commands to drop his gun and started walking towards them. That's when officers opened fire. The man was taken to the hospital where he later died. No officers were hurt in the incident. The suspect has not been identified, and Phoenix police have not said if there are if the 3 incidents in this neighborhood are connected.
Tonight, the nation is grappling with 2 acts of violence 700 miles apart. And federal officials are investigating as targeted acts of violence. First, 1 person is dead and 2 others hurt after a shooting at Old Dominion University in Virginia. The FBI is treating the case as an act of terrorism.
And just outside of Detroit, a suspect is dead after ramming a truck into one of the nation's largest synagogues. Security guards opened fire. 1 guard was injured, but is expected to recover. The suspect has been identified as a U.S. citizen who is originally from Lebanon. Following today's attacks, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office announced increased patrols around places of worship nationwide.
12 News journalist Tiani Jadalang joins us live in Phoenix. She's talked with the county supervisor backing that request and also a local rabbi tonight. Tiani, what are they saying?
Mark Kriebe, it was Maricopa County Supervisor Thomas Galvin that brought that request to Sheriff Jerry Sheridan earlier this afternoon. And while they tell me there's no active threat in the area, they say this is their way of being proactive.
Our men and women in the armed forces are basically in war right now over in the Middle East, and our thoughts go out to them. But at the same time, we have to be careful and vigilant at home, and we cannot just act after something unfortunate happens.
That's the thought process behind Maricopa County Supervisor Thomas Galvin's phone call to Sheriff Jerry Sheridan Thursday afternoon.
And as soon as I heard about these incidents at Old Dominion University and in Michigan, unfortunately, at a synagogue, I was immediately thinking about my Jewish constituents, but frankly, all of our constituents in any house of worship or religious institution.
According to Supervisor Galvin, it was a request for increased presence at synagogues as well as any areas of vulnerability. Centers like the Chabad of Phoenix say they felt that extra presence coming from the Phoenix Police Department during moments of tension and appreciate the proactive measures being taken by MCSO and the Board of Supervisors.
I think that's really nice and kind, and it means that our public officials take their role seriously, that every single constituent of theirs is important and every group is important. And that's really what we want to see as a minority, as much as we're out in the open about everything, where we are a minority and there obviously are people targeting us, and it's really warming to know that people care.
The District 2 representative says this increase in patrol couldn't have been done without county-wide support.
We have a great partnership with the Sheriff's Office and the Sheriff, and also, may I add, our County Attorney, Rachel Mitchell. All of us together and collectively are working hard on a daily basis to make sure that those of you watching at home right now are safe and secure.
A statement sent to 12 News and also released through MCSO's social media platforms reads in part, quote, "At this time, there is no known or credible threat to Maricopa County. The Sheriff's Office will continue to closely monitor developments and remain in communication with community leaders and law enforcement partners." With the sheriff also adding that violence or threats directed at any community, regardless of faith, are unacceptable. There's no say as to how long this ramped-up security will remain in place at these places of worship. As for local law enforcement and county supervisors, they say safety remains their top priority. Live in Phoenix, Tiani Jadaling, 12 News.
Tiani, thanks. The man accused of killing and crucifying a New River pastor tried to plead guilty to his murder today. Adam Schief is asking for the death penalty for the crime. Pastor Bill Shaneman was found dead inside his home last April. Schief admitted that he traveled here from California with plans to kill religious leaders across the state. The county attorney has filed an intent to seek the death penalty. So here's what happened today. Schief tried to plead no contest. When the prosecution objected to that, he offered to plead guilty instead. The judge didn't accept that either, instead setting a court date next month where she can be certain that his plea is voluntary. Last night, we showed you this video of the moment when a police canine latched onto a suspect's arm, the suspect then falling out of the car window. It started when troopers tried to stop a car on I-10 near Sky Harbor Airport. The driver took off. The chase ended near I-17 and Dixoletta Drive. Troopers used the canine to get the driver out of the car. They're now facing multiple felony charges.
All right, let's get a check of your weather forecast. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is joining us now. And Lindsay, you are tracking our first 100-degree temperature, but that's not it. We may actually hit 105 by next week.
We're going to go through all the levels here, not the 110 level, though. So that's the good news. But record starting for tomorrow here in Phoenix, but also a couple places up in the high country. And temperatures over the next couple days will steadily build, and we'll see our first 100-degree day next week and our first 105. Beautiful fiery sunset tonight. This on our Facebook page. Basically a cloudless sky out there today, but a gorgeous looking sunset with, of course, the plane driving into the sun or flying into the sunset. Temperatures today were 2 degrees shy of a record at Sky Harbor. We topped out at 92. Right now it's a beautiful 81. It's been a gorgeous, very pleasant evening. Winds are light all across the state. We have dropped below freezing up at the Grand Canyon, 44 in Winslow and 62 currently in Globe. Overnight, our overnight lows are dropping and staying about 10 degrees above average. We should be in the mid-50s overnight, and tonight we're going to drop down to 63, which is significantly above average. And lows in Flagstaff, for example, should be around 24. That's the average, and tonight we're going to be staying in the upper or in the mid-30s above freezing. freezing. Tomorrow, another bright and sunny day and a little bit warmer than today. Mid-90s will be common over the lower deserts and western Arizona, where we will set a record in Phoenix tomorrow. Close to 80 in Sedona, 72 in Show Low, 72 in Chinle, and upper 70s in Page. As far as upcoming records, at least for the next 5 days, tomorrow as well as Sunday and then Tuesday will be record-setting days here in the Valley. But then not only are we going to set our first 100-degree day next week, we have 5 days in a row of it, March 17th to the 22nd. But we're also going to see our first 105, which is about 2 months early compared to the climatological average and 1 month early compared to the previous earliest 105. So this is a historic heat wave. We're not just setting records here in the lower deserts, but the high country is also setting records. Flagstaff, for example, tomorrow, that's 72, beats the previous 2007 record by 2 degrees. Record high in Prescott tomorrow and close to records in Show Low. We will continue rising in the temperature department, and that's why we'll see more records up in the high country. But you can see by next Tuesday, we hit 100 degrees in the Valley, the rim country next week building into the mid 80s, and we'll also have some 80s up in Flagstaff. No rain, high pressure is in control. Here's our Flagstaff 7-day with those 80s moving in Wednesday and Thursday. Just a few fair weather clouds this weekend. And then when we click over to the 100s, weather impact alert days, and we'll see about 5 of those through next Saturday, setting records pretty much all of next week. Karibe.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. 2 people are hurt after a crash between a car hauler and a pickup truck near I-17 and 7th Avenue. According to DPS, the driver of the pickup truck was ejected. Both the driver and passenger were taken to the hospital. What led up to the crash is still under investigation.
Caught on camera, imagine you're in one of those self-driving cars when all of a sudden it does something wacky. Well, it really happened over the weekend in Chandler. The driverless car wound up stuck in the middle of a busy intersection. Millions have now seen the moment after the passengers inside posted it on social media.
Yeah, 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is joining us now in studio. And Maria, this must have been quite the scare.
It was. And inside the Waymo were 2 sisters from the East Coast and their friend who they were visiting here in the Valley. The only reason they recorded the ride was to show their family back home.
Okay, we're going into our Waymo.
It was a first for Josie Kaufman and her sister.
Whoa, start ride.
And within seconds, it turned scary.
Oh, we have to turn left? Oh, God.
I'm like, oh my God, we have to make a left turn? Like, are you kidding? Like, that's a little scary. It'd be scary for even a human driver.
That left turn proves to be a challenge for this driverless car.
Oh my gosh, it's inching slowly.
The moment now viral on TikTok as the Waymo pulls into the intersection of South Arizona Avenue and West German Road, then suddenly stops in the middle of traffic.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
Yeah, I thought we were gonna die, honestly. I thought we were goners.
Other drivers slamming the brakes, trying to avoid a crash.
Literally, if anyone had not been paying attention for a split second, it could have been a tragic accident, of course.
Eventually, the car